Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another energy reading for the week of February 1st, 2021. So I'm here now tapping in, and the first thing I came to mind for the energy this week is that we need to clear it. It is coming up to be cleared. So today is a very special energy reading that I'm offering everyone today. Today we are going to end with a Reiki clearing, just like I do in all of my awakening coaching series, because I feel that it is very necessary to clear energy when it is building up and building stagnant, right? So it's time to clear it out, break it down, and release it so that you can open up new avenues, new opportunities, and new perspectives, which is big. Perspective is big, huge. I can tell you that for sure. So if you're jumping on live or the replay, or if you're watching on YouTube, say hi, let me know you're here. I love connecting with you guys. So just let me know if you're here, and I'll go in. So when I was looking or tapping into the energy this week, it was heavy. Hi, Kim. Thanks so much for coming on. Today is a really good day because today I am also ending with a Reiki healing. So this is going to be a big one today. So as I'm tapping into the energy, like I said, I can feel it is heavy. And it's only heavy because we're actually settling into an energetic shift. So if you followed me for a little bit, you may have heard me talk about the Schumann resonance. I talked about it last week. I also have a podcast episode dedicated all about the Schumann resonance because it's a very important part in an energetic life like mine. Energy is big, and when the energy shifts, when it changes, you can feel it. It affects you, right? So 2 weeks ago, not last week, but the week before, the Schumann resonance spiked to about 6,000, power of 6,000. It was huge. And again, that's what breaks way for things inside of us that we've been holding on and not knowing what to do with. That's the time where it kind of breaks open and you have nothing to do but face it. You have to face it, or you have to go through it. And the only way out is through, which is paradox all on its own, right? But what your guides wanted you to know, and when I was tapping in, the very first thing that came in was that your ideas, your voice is not insignificant. It is not. It is not meaningless. And everything that you have to say or any idea that comes to mind is a gift to you, to share with the world the way that you want to, whether you share it with a friend, whether you share it with a family member, or on a platform like this, right? No matter what ideas that come to your mind, though you may be scared or nervous to share them, they're given to you for a reason. So this is a reminder that if you ever get these things that I feel like you really need to tell somebody, or if you need to share something with somebody, do it. Don't hold back. Don't question it. Just know that that idea, that message, whatever it is coming to you for a reason, because that person that's going to hear it from you is going to understand it in a way that they've never understood it before. They could have heard that message a million times before, but because it came from you, the way you delivered it, it actually made an impact on them, right? So that's the very first thing that came to mind, and I thought that was very beautiful and very powerful. So just know that anything that comes to you is a gift for you to share. Very much so. And that takes me into addressing the theme of this week that I've been noticing coming up. I've been hearing it a lot. I've been working on it a lot myself. I'm talking all about limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. Those are like pesky little pesky little rodents or gremlins or whatever you want to call it. These things that are just hanging around and bringing you down. So I wanted to start off by just breaking it down. So limiting beliefs, a belief, let's just take a belief. Let's get what is a belief? What really is it, right? So Abraham Hicks says it best. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. That's it. And because you keep thinking it, it then becomes your truth, right? It becomes something that is a part of you because it's on repeat. And you may or may not even realize this. Now, a limiting belief is a negative thought that limits your ability to take action. That's it, right? A limiting belief is a negative thought that limits your ability to take action. And this limiting belief was instilled in you when you, at a time in your life when you were vulnerable. Somebody, somewhere, at some point in time in your life, from when you were really young up until now, told you that you could never do something, that you would never achieve something, that you don't deserve it, that you'll never deserve it, right? For me, that unfortunately was my sister. My older sister, we're 8 years apart, so by the time I was born, she was the baby for a very long time. And then I came along and stole her place. So of course, she had a lot of resentment, she had a lot of hurt and hate for me, and she let me know about it, right? So a lot of my limiting beliefs, unfortunately, came from my sister. And I love her dearly, and if you're on watching, I love you so much. And I do appreciate everything that you've given me, because without those limiting beliefs, I wouldn't have had the desire to push through them and learn from them and grow from them. So they're not all bad, right? But that's the thing, is that we take on these beliefs about ourselves because somebody once told us it, and we just keep thinking it over and over again. And then on top of thinking about it, we gather evidence of circumstances and places and things that around us in our lives that support this belief, that makes it more concrete, that makes it more solid, right? And we do it on autopilot. You don't even realize you're doing it. It's just a part of second nature, right? So this reading is kind of honing in on that area of your life and really shining light on it and saying, okay, so what limiting beliefs do I have that's getting in my way, that's holding me back, that's making me procrastinate, maybe feeding into a fear that I didn't even realize I had, right? And this is the kind of work that I do with my clients, my coaching clients, because we get in there and we realize what it is, what beliefs do you carry, what is it stopping you from doing, and how can we clear it? And we do. So just know that every time you have a thought, thoughts create energy in your body, whether it be positive, negative. You're the one that decides whether it's positive or negative, by the way. It's all about your viewpoint. But a thought creates energy, and that's actually what shapes your reality, because that energy then travels through our bodies. And we name that energy by feelings. So if we're thinking a thought that's making us sad, that's going to be a low vibrational feeling going through your body. That energy that's going through, and that's the label that we give it, is sad, right? So when you're in that state, when you're in that vibration, when you're in that thought energy, you're creating an emotion that's creating your reality, right? These are things that we don't ever think of. And it's interesting because once I started studying this stuff, everything started making sense. It started becoming more clear, and I understood why things happened the way they happened, right? It's all about understanding what is going on with you and what's getting in the way, and being grateful for the experience, because if it wasn't for the experience, you wouldn't have wanted to dive so deep. You wouldn't have wanted to clear it out. You wouldn't have wanted to heal yourself. You wouldn't have been able to heal yourself, right? And this is the energy that I'm going to be working on today in the Reiki healing at the end of this reading. So before we get into that, I'm going to break into our couple decks of oracle cards, and we're going to get some validation for these messages that are coming through for this week. And also, I would encourage you to start observing your own patterns, your own cycles, your own habits of what limitations are you setting upon yourself that's holding you back from being successful, from achieving what you want in life, from getting what you want out of life. Because there's always a thought that's preventing you from it. You just have to identify it. And sometimes that's where a coach comes into play, because then a coach can be a third party. You're like looking out and the emotion is detached, right? Somebody that's a third party that's not emotionally involved can look in and say, okay, I see here in this area, this is the belief that you're holding that's creating this chaos in your life, right? So it's just a matter of paying attention and opening up your awareness. Being aware of it alone is almost enough to transmute it, to get rid of it, right? The awareness opens up the availability for the healing to occur. That's it. And just being open to healing occurring is also a very amazing thing. So yeah, okay, so I'm gonna get into a deck of cards. You know what? I'm gonna go into my Butterfly Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. Love this deck. I felt pulled to it. So we're gonna look into here for validation for our limiting beliefs. That's kind of the theme that I feel that's coming up this week. So that's something that we are going to work on and address, and we're going to work through and clear it. That's it. We're going to clear it. Whatever limiting beliefs brought you here, we're going to clear them because they are no good for you. They are garbage, and you're just carrying around this garbage unnecessarily, right? Okay. So what do we need to do to clear out these limiting beliefs? Woo! Cards are just popping out here. Okay. Okay. A lot of cards popped out, but as I'm looking at them, they're all starting to come together. Okay. So, the first one that came out was realizations and epiphanies. So realizations and epiphanies, that is kind of what we're going through right now. We're realizing that there's something holding you back. The epiphany comes from realizing what that something is. In this case, it's limiting belief, right? So it's just about realizing what is that story, that thought that you keep thinking over and over again on default in background, just that broken record that goes on and on and on. What is that for you? Right? And I want you to get really familiar with it, because that's what we're going to clear out today. Okay? We're going to find whatever limiting beliefs you have. And if you want, I would love for you to write that limiting belief that comes up. The first thing that comes up for you, whatever that limiting belief is for you right now, drop it in the comments, because at the end of this, we are going to clear it. Okay? We're going to shift that energy, and we're going to make sure that everything is taken care of. Whether you're watching live or the replay, this is going to happen for you. Okay, so we're going to get into that. So the realizations and epiphanies. Locating those limiting beliefs that are holding you back, that are keeping you scared, keeping you in the familiar, keeping you in this place of frustration, and just it's a burden that we're going to lift today. So a part of identifying limiting beliefs about yourself and in your life, it's all about changing your mind. This is the next card that came out, which really, really fits, right? Changing your mind. Changing your mind, it's all about changing the story. Is accepting, settling. Ooh, okay. So that's a really big one. We're going to work on clearing that one today, okay, Shannon? So we're going to focus on that energy. What comes up for you? What feelings are coming up for you? What do you feel it generates? What is the thought process behind it? Kind of get more familiar with that limiting belief, and we're gonna sit in that energy so that we can bring it up more and more to clear it out, right? And it's gonna help to change your mind about that. Because the next card that came out here was Heavenly Signs. Heavenly Signs. Now, this week, I know a lot of us have these heavenly signs, and that is those repeating numbers, the coins, the feathers, the colors, the deja vus, the synchronicities. These are all things that are heavenly signs. These are ways that our higher selves, our angels, our guides, our ancestors, everyone that's on the other side watching out for us and guiding us along the way, they're sending us signs all the time. It's your job to open up and receive them and look for them. Be on the lookout. Ask for them. That's the thing too, is that if you're not seeing signs, or if you haven't seen signs in a while, ask for them. Ask for specific ones. Play with it. Have some fun. See if you can ask for a blue butterfly, right? The next time that you want to see a sign, make it whatever it is. For me, honestly, it is actually a blue butterfly, which is interesting that this card came up. But that is my heavenly sign, which is beautiful. I just got my sign. What's yours? So working through these, it's going to really help with your emotions. That's the next card that came out, was emotions. Because emotions play a big role in our limiting beliefs, in these stories, in this energy that's keeping you stuck, right? 1111, yeah, exactly, right? That's a big sign. 1111, 1. So numerology, if you're familiar with numerology, each number represents something, right? Number 1 is beginnings. Number 5 is transformations, changes. And a little something for you guys to know is that this year, 2021, is a 5 numerology year, which means there's a lot of shifting and a lot of changing still going to happen this year alone, which is really interesting. So I know we're only in January, at the beginning of February. Hello. Already January's gone by, but think about all of the shifts and all of the changes that already have happened to you since New Year's. And I'm sure you could probably come up with a couple good ones. And if they're not significant, they're building up, because these are all little minuscule little shifts that build over time. And eventually you're just going to have that big breakthrough epiphany moment, right? Goes back to the first card, that realization, those epiphanies, right? Realizations and epiphanies are huge. But what people don't know is that it takes a little bit to get to that point, right? People don't see the build up to get there, right? So instability, hold on tight. Yeah, big time for sure. So emotions, but it's just also getting familiar with how your emotions work, because honestly, your emotions simply are just a temperature gauge to tell you what kind of energy is flowing through your body. And we're the ones who give it labels, who identify with it. And what you must know about emotions is that you are not the emotion. Your body holds the frequency, the energy that's creating this emotion, but you are not the emotion, right? So there's a difference that kind of breaks it down a little bit. The last card, actually, I have a couple more that popped out. There was a lot that came up. The next card, anyway, is support. So what kind of support do you have for yourself? Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? Who do you go to for support? Where do you go? What do you do? How do you follow through on keeping up with support? How do you support others, right? This is a big card. This is that questioning card that kind of gets your mind going. Support, right? Support means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But what's important for the energy this reading this week is that understanding that where is it that you're getting your support for your emotions to work through these limiting beliefs, to work through that energy so that you can clear it out. That's going to be the big question for this week, I feel. The next card that came out was seeking and finding. Now, I personally feel that I'm seeking and finding almost every single day. I'm on the search for answers, for knowledge, I'm hungry for knowledge. I can tell you that. I'm constantly learning and learning new things and exploring new things, trying out new things, and revisiting old things sometimes too. The things that I thought I wasn't good at before, I tried out again and I'm like, oh, okay, well now I'm actually a little bit better at it, right? But it's all about finding and seeking and keep trying and keep going and keep pushing. And the thing is you can't fail. There's no such thing as failure. There's only lessons. You can only learn, right? If you went down a path and things went a little bit south for you, okay, now you know that's not for you, right? How else would you have known, right? And it's interesting because we teach our children to not make a mistake, try not to make a mistake, don't do that, right? But how are they going to learn? I mean, I don't let them play with a tractor or a lawnmower by themselves, right? Things like that, obviously you don't want to learn them, but that's the thing, is that everything else with my son, he's 10 and I let him explore every avenue. Last week he told me that he wanted to be a doctor because in biology right now, in grade 5 biology, they're learning about the brain, spinal system, and digestive system, right? And that's the thing, I support everything that he wants to do, right? Because it's going to change. He's 10. It's not always going to be the same. When he was younger, he wanted to be a pianist for the rest of his life. So we took him for piano, and he is a beautiful piano player, absolutely gorgeous. He comes up with music all on his own, blows my mind. But that's the thing, things change and shift, and we are not very much different from our children, right? We have to allow ourselves to explore. We have to allow ourselves to have fun and have adventures. And that's what the finding and seeking is all about, right? So that's a really big thing. So the last card that came out of this deck was Get Some Rest. Because all of the hard work, all of the things that you're doing, we have to integrate into our being, into our bodies, into our energy bodies, into our astral bodies, into our aura, right? There's so many different levels to our physical body, more than what we can see. And that's the thing, is those are the energy bodies that I work on for the clearing that I offer. So getting some rest. Now, one thing I do want to mention to you, and I mention this to all of my Reiki clients, is that after a session of Reiki, make sure to, of course, get some rest, but also drink as much water as you possibly can. Saying that, I'm very, very thirsty. But that's the thing. Water opens your cells and allows you to tune into more of the higher frequencies. When you are dehydrated, you can't take on all of that pure, unconditional, high vibrational energy. It simply just like bounces off of you. It's only when you're hydrated and your system is open and available to take in that energy is when the healing can actually occur. So that is big to know, and I do want to share that with you. So I hope that this reading really made some sense, kind of got you thinking, right? That's the most important thing. I do want to end the reading before we get into the Reiki clearing. I do want to end it with an animal card. I've been finding those are fun to kind of tap into, get the messages from the animals, right? With the theme this week, I'm interested to see what animal comes through for the message. All right. Okay, I got my last deck here. Let's pull this out. All right, so I'm going to ask for the one message that needs to come out to help us move through our limiting beliefs. What is the one thing that's going to help us move through our limiting beliefs? Huh, that's interesting. The eagle. This is the same card that came out last week. The energy still is telling us to soar. We are being encouraged to step out of the normal and fly higher than we've ever did before, whatever that it means to you. Seize opportunities courageously. That is interesting. I'm blown away by that. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go back in and we're going to tap into that message again, because clearly we haven't applied it the way that we should have for it to move through to the next message. Right? When you're dealing with energies, if you're not able to shift the energy, then you're going to be stuck in it for a little bit. And it looks like the stuckness is sticking around. And this message still needs to come through. There's something in this message that needs to be heard by somebody in this place. So, let's see here. This card, so the Eagle card, this is the card of visionaries who focuses with clarity and awareness on the objective. Okay, I see why it's coming up now. Focusing with clarity and awareness on the objective. So you are advised to be clear about what you want and what you want to achieve or manifest. That's big, right? If you're not clear on what you want out of life or what you want to manifest or what you want to bring in, you're going to just get whatever energy comes to you. Whatever energy you're in at that time is what you're attracting. So if it's indecisiveness and procrastination and fear, you're going to get more reasons to continue on with that energy, right? The universe is going to keep bringing that in. And this is what that message is clearly telling you. So it's asking you to view it from the most enlightened perspective so that your intention is for the supreme good. So for the highest good, right? Be watchful and aware of everything that is happening. So just observe, pay attention to those stories, those beliefs that are playing on repeat in the back of your mind over and over on like a broken record, because they are. The card itself, it says, remain motivated so that when you are ready to take action, you will move fearlessly and tenaciously, easily through. Treat challenges and seemingly setbacks as opportunities to raise your vibration and your game. That's big. Constantly remain calm, centered and serene no matter what you are presented with. When you do this, you will always stand in your power. People will see you as your majesty and respect and honor you and your vision. That's interesting because people will see your majesty and respect your honor and your vision. It's only when you stand in your power. Now that's exactly the message that we all started with. The initial message that came through was that your ideas are not insignificant and meaningless. They are given to you as gifts to share with the world. However you share them is up to you. That was the first initial message that I shared with you guys. And this is what we're ending with. So that is very, very powerful. Shannon says, which is why I'm asking is accepting settlement the eagle. Which is why I'm asking is acceptance settling. Accepting isn't necessarily settling, right? Acceptance is being aware of what you're bringing in, right? So settling means that you're forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do. And forcing yourself never feels good. Forcing anything never feels good, right? Always trust your gut and stand in your power, because that eagle, the energy, take this energy of this card with you this week. Vision the eagle. How would the eagle soar? How does the eagle observe? How does the eagle react in situations of panic? Probably pretty calm, right? Probably pretty together, and they've got their power, right? So it's just seizing opportunities courageously. Seizing opportunities courageously. That's the message. All right. Let's get into this healing now. So whether you are watching live, whether you're watching replay, it doesn't matter. This healing is going to heal you no matter what time or space that you're watching this. So now is the time to settle in, get comfortable, settle in, put your shoulders back, even just kind of move around. Open up that heart space. So, you know what, before we get in, I want everyone to just get in and open that heart space. Open this part of you up. Put your arms out and stretch as far out as you possibly can. Let's get in there. Keep stretching, and then shake it off. Whatever comes up, you're shaking it, right? Get into that. Okay. All right. So now go ahead, start taking some deep breaths. We're going to start by taking deep breaths in through the nose. You can close your eyes, drop your shoulders, relax into your seat, wherever you are. Good. Take a deep breath in through the nose, really filling up that belly, and out through the mouth. Good. Tune into this energy here. Oh, I ask for your guides and your angels to step forward to facilitate this healing here today. Whew. Okay. Keep breathing deeply in and filling that belly, and just relax into the third breath. Now you can just relax and let go and return your breathing to normal. Just settle in that seat and relax. I'm not going to say a whole lot right now. I'm just going to allow this energy to flow from me to you and back around. We're going to break up those limiting beliefs, those limitations that were holding you back, those thoughts, those energies, whatever it was. We're going to clear that out now. Be ready, be willing to let that go, whatever it is. If you're not willing to let it go, it will stay with you. You must be accepting of what you are working with. Allow that energy to flow. Imagine this space within your body where you hold the heaviest emotion. I want you to tune in to that space. Tune into that space now. Feel what it feels like with that heavy emotion, whatever it is for you, whatever you're holding. Thank it for being there. Thank it for showing you what you do not need, what is holding you back. Love it and release it. And let it go. It served its purpose. It no longer needs to be there. And I want you to envision white light engulfing this part of your body where this heavy emotion lies, wherever it is, in your heart, in your chest, in your back, in your hips, in your shoulders, in your neck, in your forehead, wherever you're holding it. Focus that attention, that light, that white light. Fill up this space. Say, thank you. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for protecting me. I do not need you anymore. And keep filling that area in. Allow this part of you to return to a place of calm, tranquility, bliss. And fill it with light, with love, with healing, with compassion, with understanding, with forgiveness. Ooh, that's a big one. Understand that you were holding that emotion there because it was protecting you from something. But if it is hurting you, it is no longer serving a purpose anymore. It is time to let it go. That thought, that belief, if it doesn't hurt, if it's hurting you, it's time to let it go. Good. I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allow the energy to flow. Allow the energy to heal. Embrace every warm, tingly happiness, joy, all of that. Bring it into your body. Bring that white light into your being, into every cell, every molecule, into your body, into your bones, into your muscles, into your organs, into each and every single one of your breath. Every breath that you take in, you're breathing in more love. And every breath out, You're breathing out all the negativity, nothing that was working for you anymore. You are releasing it now. Good. I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to align your chakras now. I take your crown chakra and your root chakra. We're going to align those up with the spinal cord. Bring them back into place, into functionality, to support life, support your life and your well-being. We're going to move in to your sacral and to your third eye. We're going to balance those chakras out, bring them in and align them, and allow you to be balanced in thought and in pleasure. Good. Okay, now I'm going to move up to the solar and down to the throat. The solar plexus is where you have your willpower, your drive. And the throat is where you speak your truth. We are going to clear and balance each one of these chakras now. Bring them into alignment, in line with your spinal column. And release any energies that do not belong there. Good. Now we're going to open your heart. Open this space. Open to unconditional love, unconditional healing, unconditional joy and bliss. Love for yourself. Love for yourself. When you're able to love yourself fully, then you can love others fully as well. But it all begins with you. Good. Align these chakras. Thank you. Thank you for joining that experience. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me on these readings and allowing me to do my work. And I just want to send so much love and so much gratitude to you. And if this is something that you want to do a little bit more regular, a little bit more in your everyday life, this is exactly what I offer in my awakening coaching. And I do have spots available now. So if this is something that you want to continue on with, let me know. You know how to get a hold of me. So grateful. Aw, Shannon, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your tenaciousness and your willingness to do the work and heal. That's big. Everything that you do is amazing. All right. Well, I send you all so much love and so much light, and I will see you again very, very soon. Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.